So my name is Sarah. I'm originally from Ireland and I'm an international PhD student at Deakin University, but also a joint PhD student at the University of Copenhagen. I started my PhD in May 2017, so I'm just coming up to my 2-year mark. I started out as a research assistant and did about 2 years of exploring the different research environments at Deakin. I loved the Institute for Physical Activity and Nutrition, so that's where I'm based now, and decided to start my PhD project looking at self-management and secondary prevention of cardiovascular disease. The real value of the ILP is a way of documenting all of the different skills or workshops or units and modules that you might attend during your PhD candidature. So you then have a way of representing all of that learning as well as your thesis or your research at the end of your PhD. So at the end of your PhD, you want to have a group of skills that were attributed to the research that you were doing, but it's also very helpful to have a group of skills that you can use for general academia or general work as well. So what I did was I focused on some skills or workshops that were important for my particular research, like qualitative health research, for example, and then I looked at some generic skills like research communication and data management as well. So I have done a few external workshops that aren't necessarily being held in Deakin University, and sometimes there will be workshops that I will take on that aren't part of the ILP necessarily, but they will be held at Deakin University. And I make a note of those, I make a note of the different learning experiences I've had, or also any kind of certificates or proof of learning that I might have been given from the person that ran the workshop. Then I will contact the people who are governing the ILP, and they will look at my proof of learning, and they may actually add that to my individual learning plan to show that I have external skills as well as the ones that they've offered through the ILP. Personally, I would really like to go into a career in academia. I love to teach, I love to research, and I think it's a great environment, keeps you young as well, around all of the young people. But for me, the ILP, I have chosen some workshops or I've chosen some units that are related to research communication, but I also have a lot of peers who have done similar workshops and have done research communication, for example, but they want to go into a career of industry-based work. So although the ILP will have specific units that might seem governed towards an academic career, for example, those types of skills like public speaking can be applied to all types of careers. I suppose the advice I would give any future students or PhD students who maybe aren't 100% sure where they're going with their project or with their career is this is the time that you have to develop as a PhD candidate, and there will be a multitude of different barriers that might face you when you are out in the typical working world, like funding or not having enough time in your day. But your PhD is all built around developing yourself as an academic, as a scholar, and it doesn't matter what career you're going into, use the opportunity now to develop as many skills as you can. It's your everyday job right now, and the ILP is a way of documenting every type of skill that you are gaining during your PhD, so you can apply those or you can combine those in any which way you want in the future. So I'm about a month off my 3rd year, so final year jitters are definitely setting in. But when I look back at my ILP and I look at the amount of things that I've achieved, it definitely gives you a sense of achievement and gears you forward for that final year. With regards to literature searching, systematic reviews, qualitative research, quantitative research, communication, mentoring. These are just some of the skills that I've achieved in just 2 years, as well as conducting my research project. It may seem a little bit daunting, but when you tap away at it and when you use the ILP to guide you through those, it really gives you a sense of achievement, and it gives you other goals rather than just writing those papers or writing that thesis. So for my final year, I'm now going to look at not just skills that I can use during my PhD, but I'm also starting to focus on future careers and what I want to do afterwards. So the ILP will not just prepare you for your PhD, but it will also allow you to find workshops and seminars to guide you in that career choice or in preparation for future work opportunities.